The Methods and the Means, Part 2. Controlling the passions is the next thing to be attended to restrain the indriyas, organs, from going towards the objects of the senses, to control them and bring them under the guidance of the will, is the very central virtue in religious culture. Then comes the practice of self-restraint and self-denial. All the immense possibilities of divine realization in the soul cannot get actualized without struggle and without such practice on the part of the aspiring devotee. The mind must always think of the Lord. It is very hard at first to compel the mind to think of the Lord always. But with every new effort, the power to do so grows stronger in us. By practice, O son of Kunti, and by non-attachment, it is attained, says Sri Krishna in the Gita. And then as to sacrificial work, it is understood that the 5 great sacrifices have to be performed as usual. Purity is absolutely the basic work, the bedrock upon which the whole bhakti building rests. Cleansing the external body and discriminating the food are both easy. But without internal cleanliness and purity, these external observances are of no value whatsoever. In the list of qualities conducive to purity, as given by Ramanuja, there are enumerated satya, truthfulness, arjava, sincerity, daya, doing good to others without any gain to oneself, ahimsa, not injuring others by thought, word, or deed, anabidya, not coveting others' goods, not thinking vain thoughts, and not brooding over injuries received from another. In this list, the one idea that deserves special note is ahimsa, non-injury to others. This duty of non-injury is, so to speak, obligatory on us in relation to all beings. As with some, it does not simply mean the non-injuring of beautiful beings and mercilessness towards the lower animals, nor as with some others does it mean the protecting of cats and dogs and feeding of ants with sugar, with liberty to injure brother man in every horrible way. It is remarkable that almost every good idea in this world can be carried to a disgusting extreme. A good practice carried to an extreme and worked in accordance with the letter of the law becomes a positive evil. The stinking monks of certain religious sections who do not bathe lest the vermin on their body should be killed never think of the discomfort and disease they bring to their fellow human beings. They do not, however, belong to the religion of the Vedas. The test of ahimsa is absence of jealousy. Any man may do a good deed or make a good gift on the spur of the moment or under the pressure of some superstition or priestcraft. But the real lover of mankind is he who is jealous of none. The so-called great men of the world may all be seen to become jealous of one another for a small name, for a little fame, and for a few bits of gold. So long as this jealousy exists in a heart, it is far away from the perfection of ahimsa. The cow does not eat meat, nor does the sheep. Are they great yogis, great non-injurers, ahimsakas? Any fool may abstain from eating this or that. Surely that gives him no more distinction than to herbivorous animals. The man who will mercilessly cheat widows and orphans and do the vilest deeds for money is worse than any brute, even if he lives entirely on grass. The man whose heart never cherishes even the thought of injury to anyone, who rejoices at the prosperity of his greatest enemy, that man is the bhakta, he is the yogi, he is the guru of all, even though he lives every day of his life on the flesh of swine. Therefore, we must always remember that external practices have value only as helps to develop internal purity. It is better to have internal purity alone when minute attention to external observances is not practicable. But woe unto the man and woe unto the nation that forgets the real internal spiritual essentials of religion and mechanically clutches with death-like grasps at all external forms and never lets them go. The forms have value only so far as they are expressions of the life within. If they have ceased to express life, crush them out without mercy. The next means to the attainment of Bhakti Yoga is strength. This Atma is not to be attained by the weak, says the Shruti. Both physical weakness and mental weakness are meant here. The strong, the hardy are the only fit students. What can puny little disrepute things do? They will break to pieces whenever the mysterious forces of the body and mind are even slightly awakened by the practice of any of the yogas. It is the young, the healthy, the strong that can score success. Physical strength, therefore, is absolutely necessary. It is the strong body alone that can bear the shock of reaction resulting from the attempt to control the organs. He who wants to become a bhakta must be strong, must be healthy. When the miserably weak attempt any of the yogas, they are likely to get some incurable malady or they weaken their minds. Voluntarily weakening the body is really no prescription for spiritual enlightenment. The mentally weak also cannot succeed in attaining the Atma. The person who aspires to be a bhakta must be cheerful. In the Western world, the ideas of a religious man is that he never smiles, that a dark cloud must always hang over his face, which again must be long drawn with the jaws almost collapsed. People with emaciated bodies and long faces are fit subjects for the physician. They are not yogis. It is a cheerful mind that is persevering. It is a strong mind that hews its way through 1,000 difficulties. And this, the hardest task of all, the cutting of our way out of the net of Maya, is the work reserved only for giant whales. Yet at the same time, excessive mirth should be avoided. Excessive mirth makes us unfit for serious thought. It also fritters away the energies of the mind in vain. The stronger the will, the less the yielding of the sway of the emotions. Excessive hilarity is quite as objectionable as too much of sad seriousness, and all religious realization is possible only when the mind is in a steady, peaceful condition of harmonious equilibrium. It is thus that one may begin to learn how to love the Lord.